Haven't done an update on the 240 in a little while. Gonna get some work in on it today. Gonna get it spun around here and try and get the rest of the wiring hooked up today. Get the distributor swapped out for the S14 one and see what else we can get cranked out. Got the car all flipped around here. So first up, we're going to swap out this distributor for this one. This one's for the S14. The biggest difference is we have a built-in coil in this guy, where that one needs an external coil that mounts on the fender well over there or whatever. So to swap it, we need to get the engine at top dead center first. So we're going to pull out a spark plug. We're going to crank the old crank around until we're all the way up, and the let's see if that's spark plug number 1. We want to make sure that that's pointed there. That'll help ensure that the timing is set up how it's supposed to be. I spun the crank around here until my long screwdriver here got all the way up, and then it kind of stopped for a moment. Now we're gonna it's pretty important to keep all your wires on here, otherwise it's easy to get them out of order. There's plenty of manuals, whatever, online to get them back in order, but if you jack them up, the car won't run right. We're gonna pop these 2 little screws off, get the cap out, and make sure that the cap is pointed towards right over here, which is, the rotor is pointing towards number 1 on the cap. Pulled the cap off here so you can look and see where it's lined up. This one right here underneath 2 is number 1. It is pointed right about here, and that is connecting with the cap there. So I think we're at right where we need to be. So then we can set this aside over here. Now we can take off the 12 mil here, and there's another one right down there on the back side, and we'll get that one out and we'll get the new one in there. Now we got the old one out, got the new one ready to go in. We're going to pop these off so we can see the the rotor orientation, and we want it to land on, number 1, which this one, put number 1 right over here. This one's going to put number 1 right here. You can see how the gears are kind of bevel cut. So when you stick it in here, it kind of will twist its way in. So you need to kind of compensate for it. So when it's twisted, it kind of lands right where you need it to be. Don't mind the crows up there in the trees. So we got the distributor in here. So you can see there's range of adjustment here for where it's going to land. But once this is on here, like so, here's our number 1, and you can see it's landing right where the rotor is. So hopefully that'll get us close enough to get started, get the car to be able to start, and then we can fine-tune it with the timing light later. So, gonna get this guy bolted in and keep cranking. There's only one of these guys holding the distributor on. The other one was missing, just didn't get it with the car. But, pro tip, when you are taking anything apart, if you've ever parted out a car or whatever else, get one of these organizers. Then you have all the hardware you need. I have another, what looks to be OEM Nissan distributor bolt that was sitting right here in one of my bins. So, these things, they're key. Now with the distributor on, I reconnected all the spark plug wires there, and going to be on to the next step. The the plug here. It was never connected when I got it, and you can see it was cut off the harness that I have. So I am going to solder that up along with fixing a few other connections that I have on the car, and we'll get the intake back on, get some coolant lines in there, and let's see, what else did I do? I also hooked up all of the power steering stuff, so that's all set up and ready to go. I think we might be ready to crank this thing over and see if we can get it to run.